In this video, we'll go back to the code that forms the select, and also alternative ways to form the select. Right here, we have table select select, and we will go look at the code one more time. This is select code. There's a special function here, select row list for select, in which we need to fill in at least the table and the field from which the display will be taken. That is, what we will see. In what order is not necessary. If you don't specify, the computer will determine some random order by itself. Besides this code, in this case you don't have to fill it in, you can fill in the values manually. This is sometimes necessary if you have up to 10 values there, and this list will be used in one single place. If you know for sure that it will be used in a single place, you cannot create a separate table, because it takes time, and write the values right here. That is, set a list of values right here. In the next table I will show you how to do this. I added a type for the elements in this table. Here is the empty select code. The manual select is on, and it says, here is the fruit and vegetable, this is the base, and this is the display. What would that look like here? Well, here we have a fruit, and here we have a vegetable. The base in this case is this. Here's a fruit and here's a vegetable. As you can see, base can be not only numbers, row IDs, but also string values. How to get a string base if you use a select code? By default, if no base field parameter is specified, it writes like this, B field, source table ID is used. Here, if there is no base field, the ID will be used. Let's see what happens if the base field is specified. Let's use this field as an example. Here the base field contains some unique values. We specify here the name of the field that will be used as the base for the selection. Let's save it and see that this value has become invalid. That is, we had 1 selected and it remains 1. The code of the select has been recalculated, and there is no longer a display for the 1, because we now take a different field than the ID. If we open this list, we see that select is calculated. If we select some value, we see that now the value is not a number, but that the string specified in the base field in the source table. Right here. In most cases, it is the ID that is used. And I recommend that if you're constructing in Totum exactly to use ID. But there are times when you need string unique bases. For example, you have data from an external system. You need select to take exactly string values. I also want to show the additional parameters of the select code. We use an order and we add a section. Section. Here we also set the name of the field in the source table. I put type. This is the field where we checked out vegetables or fruits. And now when we open the drop-down list, we see the selected orange with the indication that it is a fruit. Next there is a blank value and there are fruits and vegetables, and they are separated and have headings. Another important parameter that is sometimes needed, but is disabled by default. This parameter is the maximum number of output items. The default for this drop-down list is 50. If you have a large list, and you want a user to be able to scroll down this entire drop-down list and search for a value visually, this parameter must be greater than or equal to the number of items in the list. All values above that number will not be shown. You will need to use the search, for example, to search for mango, and then the matching values will be shown here, just like in the filters, but also no more than the specified number, by default 50. It happens quite often that you have a large number of values. For example, there is a list of cities, and you need more values in this drop-down list. Then you turn on this parameter, the maximum number of entries. The bigger the number, the longer it will take to open this drop-down list. So, select the value by experience so that the performance is maintained at a high level, and the system does not slow down in your conditions. Then we have this title, from which we take the display. If we make this title visible only to the creator, and other users will not see it, here is the corresponding indication. Then the displays will still be taken here, and the select will be fully functional. From this we get the following trick. It is impossible to select several fields as a display, but quite often it is necessary to combine the values of several fields in this display. For example, we need to get orange plus E plus 340, because it is convenient to search for several values, for example. So that's how we do it. We put a field here. We call it str. It's a string. We say that it will only be visible to the creator. And in the code we do the concatenation of the values we want. Duplicate tab. For example, we want title. Sharp title plus plus. What else do we take? Type, for example. Sharp type plus plus. And we will take, for example, this value 1. Let's save it. This is a simple table. We need to recalculate these rows. Recalculate. OK. What we have here is this orange fruit E concatenated together. You can add some technical symbols. Now we can take this field as a display of the select. We change here from title to str. But the field can be called whatever you want. The base is the same. The machine recalculated the display, and now we have this display. If we want to search, well, for example, we want to see which C we have, we can type C, like this, and see that passion fruit C. So it is possible to combine several fields via a hidden display field, even though there is only one field to display in the select code. Practice, please. It's not that simple. You may need to do several iterations, and when you're sure, move on to the next video.